Wyatt Earp, the lawman who became a legend. Wyatt Earp is remembered as the man who brought law and order to the Wild West. A fearless lawman, a steady hand with a gun, a legend forged in violence. But the real Wyatt Earp was far more complicated than the stories suggest. He was not simply a hero, and he was not simply a villain. Wyatt Berry Stapp Earp was born in 1848 into a family that never stayed in one place for long. His childhood was defined by constant movement across the American frontier. New towns, new dangers, new chances to survive or fail. From a young age, Wyatt learned that reputation mattered. In the West, being feared could be as powerful as being respected, and weakness could be fatal. Before he ever wore a badge, Wyatt lived many lives. He worked as a farmer, a buffalo hunter, a gambler, a saloon owner, and at times he operated on the edge of the law himself. The Wild West was not romantic. It was violent, chaotic, and unstable. Towns appeared overnight, filled with criminals, drifters, and fortune seekers. Law enforcement was weak, justice was inconsistent, and survival often depended on speed and intimidation. Wyatt Earp eventually became a lawman, not because he believed deeply in justice, but because authority offered control. As a deputy marshal, he developed a reputation for being calm, intimidating, and extremely dangerous when challenged. Unlike many gunmen, Wyatt did not boast. He did not draw his weapon quickly. He waited. This made him feared. His name became permanently linked to a single moment in history: the gunfight at the OK Corral. In the town of Tombstone, Arizona, tensions had been rising for months. Outlaws known as the Cowboys clashed constantly with lawmen. Accusations of robbery, cattle theft, and murder filled the streets. Everyone was armed. Everyone was watching. On one side stood Wyatt Earp, his brothers Virgil and Morgan, and their close friend Doc Holliday. On the other side were the Clanton and McClory brothers. The confrontation lasted less than 30 seconds. Gunfire exploded in the street. When it was over, 3 men lay dead. The gunfight made Wyatt Earp famous, but it did not bring peace. Instead, it ignited a cycle of revenge. The Earps were accused of murder. They were put on trial. Although they were cleared, enemies remained everywhere. The Cowboys wanted blood. Not long after, Wyatt's brother Morgan was assassinated. Another brother, Virgil, was crippled in an ambush. Something inside Wyatt Earp changed. He no longer believed the law could protect his family. He no longer trusted the system he served. Wyatt abandoned his badge. What followed became known as the Earp Vendetta Ride. Wyatt and a small group of armed men hunted down those they believed responsible. There were no arrests. There were no trials. Only executions. Some of the men Wyatt killed were likely guilty. Others may not have been. History cannot say for certain. What is clear is that Wyatt Earp crossed a line. He was no longer enforcing the law. He was delivering his own version of justice. After Tombstone, Wyatt drifted west once again. He chased money, opportunity, and fame. He became involved in gambling, mining, and business ventures. He lived long enough to see his story rewritten. Newspapers turned him into a hero. Books exaggerated his role. Hollywood transformed him into a symbol of perfect justice. By the time Wyatt Earp died in 1929, the Wild West was already fading into memory. But his legend was only growing. The truth is harder to accept. Wyatt Earp was not a simple lawman. He was a survivor of a violent world, a man who understood power, a man willing to bend the law or abandon it entirely when it suited him. That is why his story still fascinates us today, because Wyatt Earp represents the thin line between order and chaos, between justice and revenge, between legend and reality.